at least in Sudan. So they had started the process. That's why it made the Banjul meeting very easy, and you admitted it also in your press release. So, Your Excellency, we want to thank them. And you had always said, if your neighbor's house is on fire, and your brother or sister's house is on fire, you better put out the fire. Otherwise, it would come to your own way. I think that's an African balance that His Excellency the President always reiterates. And this exactly says it all. That in Africa, we have relative peace. Not absolute peace, not sustainable peace. And once again, it has shown its ugly face. And that's why His Excellency the President believes that we must address this issue of peace and stability once and for all. Because when it comes to peace and security, he always says he doesn't joke about it. He gives it the importance it deserves. He can spend all the resources in that. Because once you address peace and security, the rest follows. So, because I'm required to make a few sentences, I presume that's what I'm conditioned to do, because I know we are pressed for time. Once again, Your Excellency, thank you for giving me the opportunity. And thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Madam Vice President, for those brilliant remarks and for the long day you've had staying with us from the morning. Now this is the moment we've all been waiting for, and I want to thank His Excellency the President before handing over the mic to him, because we all knew he had a very tight schedule this morning, but when the request came for you to meet him, I hesitated, but I said, no, I have to pass the message. I know 11th hour the Foreign Minister wanted to cancel. I said, no, just allow me to get the message to him. No matter how busy he is, if I tell him there's an African delegation here, an African issue, I know he will cut all his programs and receive you. So much to my delight, within an hour he was ready to receive you despite his very busy schedule. And I want to seize this opportunity also to thank him, because when your flights arrived yesterday and we knew you could not make it to Banjul, that was the last challenge the tourism minister gave me. There's no flight. I said, give me a quotation for a chartered flight. I said, are you going to pay? I said, no, just give me the invoice. But when I spoke to my boss, it was approved immediately, and that's how we were able to flight. I want to thank him sincerely for this and many other issues. As he said, when the directive came, everybody thought this is not possible. And I had to torture my colleague, the tourism minister. And whenever there are logistical issues, I tell the foreign minister, just stay out of it. Tell the tourism minister to take care, because she had the interior minister's technical backup. But I want to thank you all for doing this for our boss, because these are issues that are very dear to his heart. Once again, Your Excellency, we are most pleased and honored to be here with you here, and I kindly and humbly call on you, not to give a few remarks, but to kindly address it as Your Excellency.
Your Excellency the Vice President, honorable ministers on both sides here present, and those Commissioner for Peace and Security, EU, ambassadors here present, and those representing my colleague, members of the African Peace and Security Council. This is a very sad moment for Africa. Just immediately after the Paris conference, where we thought that we would address issues of security in a different form, the newest state exploded into violence. This can only buttress the racist belief that we Africans are incapable of living peacefully. But Cameroon, as said by the minister, Cameroon and Nigeria set an example. I remember the problem of Bakassi was one that was going on for a long time. And then I was a student, and then a soldier, and then a head of state. I'm speaking between myself and the Almighty Allah. When this issue of Bakassi, because here and there the tension will flare, then there will be skirmishes. And that was during the time of my late brother, Sani Abacha. And I visited him. And I told him that, look, both Nigeria and Cameroon, we are once united. Remember those days when the chiefs and the paramount leaders of both countries were seen as one. Colonialism came and divided us. And then they sent the world on 2 world wars. If those that divided you are today working together, I see no reason why you that were united before and divided by foreign force, you cannot be united again. Now, if it is a question of resources, because I know the Bakassi Peninsula is full of oil. And I said, the oil we have in Nigeria and the one they have there is enough. You have the oil you have not seen. Nobody has drilled a well here. He said, no, it's a question of pride, national pride. And I told him, okay, what I can assure you is you can do Nigeria and Africa justice by saying that the best way for national pride is to let things go to avoid a confrontation. When you avoid war, that is one way. Of course, Hawks would say, oh, he's chicking out. But I tell him, you don't know how many people are going to die. You don't even know how many barrels are there. Even if one person dies in Nigeria or Cameroon, even for 10,000 barrels, that is an abomination. And he said, well, so what should I do? I said, no, I cannot tell you what you should do, but I can advise you. Now, one best way out is, I said, in our tribe, they say, if you have a problem where now you have been so involved that as the leader of the family, between 2 families, and you think that by just allowing peace to prevail, you'll be seen as a coward, get the next neighbor, an elderly person, to come and talk on your behalf, between the 2 of you, and you both of you accept as it is. And he said, so how should we do it? And this was this was a week after there was a very bad skirmish between the Cameroonians and the Nigerian troops. So I tell him the best way is the way out. Now you prepare Nigeria that the matter would be referred to the International Court of Justice, and that you make it very clear that you will accept whatever the outcome of that decision. I say that's the best way out. Not the AU or the OAU or anything, but let the International Court of Justice take the matter to, both of you should take it to the International Court of Justice, and you pledge that you're going to accept whatever the outcome is going to be. And he said, okay, I will think about it. And he said, but you know, there's a question of national pride. I said, yes. You lost soldiers, Cameroon lost soldiers. For how long do Africans have to kill each other? I gave him an example of Gibraltar. And then you think the Spaniards do not want Gibraltar back? They want it, but I think they want it in a more peaceful way. And that's why they're allowing the British to be present there. Do you think if they want to kick them out by force, it will lead to a very catastrophic war, but they don't want that. What they want is negotiation. So we Africans that were united before should regain our lost glory. So I was able to prevail upon him, and thank God when Obasanjo came, he accepted the ruling of the International Court of Justice. Thereby Nigeria and Cameroon have set an example. One way I was able to convince Abacha was, you are the leader in peacekeeping, ECOMOG, in Sierra Leone and Liberia. And I tell him,